So without further ado, let's jump in. So just by way of preface, our core team, we all come from the space. We're all experienced brokers, MLS directors, and technologists. We've been working in this industry for years and years and years. Previously founded our own brokerages and prop tech firms. We've helped thousands of clients. We've done hundreds of millions in home sales, and we're backed by some great investors. Again, I say this as preface because we're really solving problems that we experience firsthand in the field as agents, as brokers in this industry. I think oftentimes there's a lot of prop tech or real estate technology that's built by people who are on the tech side first, trying to build for problems that they don't actually have a lot of firsthand experience with. We built RealReports because of the problems that we had out in the field. So I'll get into those pieces in a sec, but that's really some background where we come from. So all of your professionals and your experts, I don't really need to educate you on this piece, but at a high level, of course, our industry is changing. We're seeing an increasingly competitive market, of course. Certainly, I'm sure everybody's been following the news. There are a lot of, still yet to be decided, but, upcoming changes to compensation structure, given what's going on with the DOJ. And at a high level, it's becoming harder and harder for agents to really differentiate their value. And, in an increasingly competitive market, that is paramount, absolutely. So our solution to this is RealReports. It's the ultimate tool to help agents stand out and grow their business. Now, the way that you can think about RealReports is it's an AI supercharged Carfax for homes. So what does that really mean? What we're doing is we're bringing together comprehensive, accurate property information from over 30 different providers. And it's worth noting that this is outside of MLS data. So you can really think of, the MLS data or, when a client interacts with information on Zillow or Redfin or on your website, that's sort of the brochure for the property. We're that Carfax. Once you've identified a property you're really interested in, we're everything else under the hood. But that is outside of MLS data. And this is available for every property in the country. So you can type in any address and you'll be able to get the report for it. And, I'll delve into the specifics about this in a second, but I'm sure everybody here has heard a lot about AI in the past months. We've built a really, really practical way for you to incorporate AI into your business. And I think, again, we'll get into this in a sec, but that's going to be increasingly important. And it already is important right now. So, we've created a really approachable way for you to interact with AI. It doesn't require any technical leaps, for those unfamiliar with the space. So we'll go into that as I show you through the demo. So quickly to preface that on the AI side, what we've built in RealReports is an AI copilot, which we call Aiden, and it powers the data in the RealReports itself. So what does Aiden do? Aiden's able to analyze the tens of thousands of data points that we bring together in each RealReport. And by doing that, it's able to answer any property question instantly. So you can see on the right-hand side here, where this is just an example of, you type in any question, you can just type however you would speak, and you'll get an answer based on the data in the RealReport in a couple of seconds. There's a way to use Aiden to generate leads, which is really powerful, and I'll show that to you. But at a high level, our philosophy around AI is that AI is not going to replace real estate agents at all. But agents who use AI tools are going to begin to outcompete agents who don't. And that, that is just common sense because AI really has the ability to speed up your process, give you deeper insights, and just streamline your entire workflow. So again, what we've built with Aiden is a very practical way to take all of the data that we put in the reports, and I'll explain what all of that data is in a second. But instead of you having to parse through all the different charts and graphs and data tables and everything like that, all you have to do is ask a question and you get an answer. In addition to that, we also have the ability for Aiden to analyze documents using AI. So here on the right, I'm sure everybody has come across many of these in your careers: complex, lengthy documents, seller disclosures, inspection reports, condo documents, appraisals, you name it. With Aiden, all you have to do is upload those documents, and in an instant, you will get a full summary of the contents of those documents. That's going to save you hours and hours of time right off the bat. And in those summaries, you're going to get highlights of all the critical details neatly laid out so that you get all of the information that you need. You can also use Aiden to answer any question about those documents as well. So you can ask specific things like in a condo document, are there any special assessments on this property, and get that information in real time. The assessment example is, I think, great because not only is this just saving you hours of time of reviewing those documents, but it's going to help you mitigate risk and in some cases actually prevent lawsuits. If for some reason you're busy, you've got a lot on your hands, you've got a lot of clients, you've got a lot of documents, if you miss something like an assessment, that can actually put you in a lot of hot water. So this is a real painkiller, and it's really, really cool to see it in action. So I'll show it to you here in a second. And again, just a bit more on our philosophy, you'll see in these reports, there is an immense amount of data. I could say unequivocally more than you've seen in any other data product out there for real estate. But data is really only valuable if you know what to do with it. You can throw as much paint on the wall, but if somebody's sitting there in front of all of this data and they don't know what to actually do with it, they don't have the time to make that data meaningful to themselves, then you haven't actually done the job. So we've really, really turned that into something special in RealReports. And again, just to really hone that in on the AI document side, let's just take a step back and think about a condo document. Again, all of you are experts in the field. I don't need to educate you on this, but in a condo document, you can have things that you need to find out about assessments, the financial health, budgets, rules, insurance coverage, legal and compliance issues, bylaws, fees, meeting minutes, floor plans, all of this stuff. There's so much that can be in these documents that you actually need to have eyes on and insights. And with Aiden, you just type in something as simple as summarize the condo bylaws. And you wait 1, 2, maybe 3 seconds. And then Aiden's going to take all of that information, read those documents on its own, and then give you all of that information back in a meaningful and summarized way. So it's just incredibly powerful. And we already have dozens and dozens of agents piloting this with Prime and using it in the field and have great success so far. So you may have already surmised some of this, but how are RealReports going to help you? At a high level, they're going to help you provide unique value to buyers. It's going to help you win more listings, generate leads, and all of this is really going to help, fundamentally reinforce the trust and credibility that you have and the relationship that you have with your clients. So to quickly just break that down, looking at sort of the buyer's agent side, the buy side, RealReports are going to help you build credibility. You have all this deep property knowledge at your fingertips. That can be so, so powerful, especially in this day and age when, a buyer presentation is becoming more and more important. Being able to communicate your unique value to a buyer is becoming more and more important. That buyer presentation, that's your first impression. That's the moment where that you get to showcase why you're better than the other guy or the other gal. And having these reports, having this data, using this technology, presenting yourself as a sophisticated data-driven agent, that can make all of the difference. Of course, it's going to help you save time. You've already seen that. Again, we come from the space. We were running a brokerage with 50 agents at it. They were out there diligencing properties, going to 10, 15 different data sources, just wasting time, calling public records, going on government websites, what have you, to bring all of that data in together just for one home. We've done that so it's all in one place, let alone the extra pieces of it where you can add the property documents and save time there as well. And then again, on the buy side, we have tons of testimonials to this effect, but agents are out there using the data in these reports to back up their offers using data and submit more competitive offers as a result. And then on the listing side, as you can imagine, it is equally as powerful, of course, with listing presentations similar to buyer presentations. It's all about those first impressions. Jimmy here on the right-hand side is a Compass realtor, and he's been using RealReports for months. And I love this quote from him. He says, because RealReports have won 3 listings the past month, that was earlier this year, including one for $6 million. They make a huge impression with clients. And Jimmy actually went on a podcast and talked about his experience using RealReports and how it won him that $6 million listing. And it was because he included them with that listing presentation. And those sellers, were really able to draw a line in the sand of why Jimmy, tech-driven, data-driven, sophisticated, doing the extra work in advance is better than, their uncle down the street who did sold a home once in the last 40 years. You have to be able to draw that line for yourself in your business. RealReports, again, on the listing side, they're going to help increase transparency overall. It's going to reinforce that bond between you and your clients, decrease days on market by just better pricing. And of course, you're going to be protecting your clients by, proactively uncovering issues, in advance of actually listing the property for sale. And then one last piece of why RealReports are so powerful is the lead generation piece. So with just the click of a button, you can turn your RealReport into a lead capture form, in effect. What this allows you to do is, with your marketing materials, you can share a RealReport on your website, on your social media, with your listing materials, at an open house. This image on the right-hand side here, a lot of agents use this at their open house. They say, scan this code, this home's powered by AI, ask anything about the property. Now anybody who comes through the door and scans that code, they'll be prompted to give their contact information right there in order to see the report. All of that information gets sent to you. Those leads get sent straight to you. And then after that, not only can you see who's at your open house or who's looking at your Real Reports, how often they're coming back to the Real Report, which is a huge signal of interest, but then they can actually ask things to the AI, to Aiden in the Real Report, and you get those insights as well. So if I have a client or if I have a lead that comes to my open house at 123 Main Street, let's say her name is Lauren, and she's asking about the rental potential about the property. I see that. I see Lauren came. I see she looked at my Real Report 5 times. She's asking about rental potential. That gives me a really meaningful way to follow up with her and actually do the next step in terms of providing value, by really targeting what she's interested in. So the lead gen piece need not be ignored. It's really, really powerful part of our product. So with that, I'm going to quickly just show you all a quick demo here. It looks like we're doing pretty good on time. So I think it's just important to sort of familiarize yourself and see the product, because I can sit here and sort of talk about why it's great. But sometimes I think it's good to just see it in front of your face. So a quick lay of the land here. Some first things to note, all the sort of purple colors and all of that, those will be branded to PrimeMLS, and Prime's logo will be up here. Your branding will be right here, front row center at the top of the report, so that anybody who comes to your report from a link that you shared or that QR code, they see your face first, your contact information. You can include links to social media, links to your listings, your reviews, all of that information to help build your credibility and sort of, make it so that you are the locus and, the touch point for anybody who wants to learn more about this property. So the reports will look a little different when you have them on your side because of the branding to Prime. We can also skin those reports to be branded to your specific brokerage or team as well. In addition to that, on the left-hand side here, so I've been talking a lot about data, but what data am I actually talking about? So this is just a high level. Each of these has separate menus underneath that you can dig into, but just to sort of run you through it, we've got valuations, we've got permits, zoning, environmental details, climate risk, hazardous materials, long and short-term rental potential, financial information, so liens, loans, transaction history, taxes, tax information, ownership details, neighborhood scores, schools, nearby schools as well, what school district you're in, utilities, so electricity estimates, solar estimates, HVAC, heat pumps, remodel potential, demographics, crime, market trends. So there is an immense amount of data in here. And I want to underscore that not only is there what I can say is unequivocally the widest breadth of data in terms of the different types of data in the report, but we also have the deepest fidelity of the data as well. And I think that's super important. Again, you all are experts. I don't need to educate you on this, but data in our space can be incredibly problematic. We know that very much so because it's why we started this company. What we do is not only do you have this wide array of data, but we may check 10 different sources to confirm and provide consensus for any given data point in this report. So this is a contrived example, but we may look at an address for 123 Main Street and check 10 different data sources that there are 2 bedrooms and make sure that there's consensus amongst all of them. So when you pull the report, we hit all of our data sources in real time. We pull all of that in and create the report in a couple of seconds. So you're getting all of that redundancy of data, but it's also the most accurate and fresh and current data that exists because you're getting it at that exact moment in time. You're not getting data from 8 months ago or something like that. All right, just a couple other things in the report here, and then I'll quickly skim through the data and we'll jump back in and wrap up the slide. So I mentioned the branding component here at the top. You have full control over all of that. All of your information can be displayed there. Again, when you share this, the first thing anybody sees is your information. So you're always top of mind. The second thing anybody sees are your remarks. So this is a place where you can write individual notes to clients that you're working with. You can add additional context to the report itself to understand, in the case of this property here, the agent wrote in, keep in mind, there's an office that can flex as a bedroom. this is your opportunity to sort of make the report your own, add any additional context or information that you think will be helpful as somebody's looking through the report. On the right-hand side here, we've got a map, nothing mind-blowing about that, except it actually is quite interesting because as you scroll through the report, you'll see right now I'm highlighting the parcel boundary. But when I get to the zoning section, the map moves out and it updates dynamically based on the content of the report that I'm looking at. So I hit the zoning section, it zooms out from the parcel boundary, and now it's actually showing me the full zone where the property is located. So no matter what you're looking at in the report, the map will enrich itself with that extra layer of information, just complementary to what you're looking at. So let's say I'm on the long-term rental potential section. The map will update with pins of all the different comps of long-term rentals in the neighborhood. So it's just a good way to complement what you're seeing on the left-hand side visually on the map as well. And before I show you Aiden itself, just some other things to note. You can print these reports. We've made that very easy. You can get a summary, 2 to 3 pages of the high-level information. You can choose and curate and customize what appears with that printed out report summary. So let's say I've got a client who's not looking to rent out this property. Well, long and short-term rental potential will probably not apply to them. So I can easily just check these off. And now when I print out this report, those will be redacted. Additionally, you can choose the individual report sections. This can, add up and become quite a long report, but we understand that some agents just like to have the paper materials with them. So you can print out the full contents of this report if you would like. That said, this report works great on desktop, tablet, and mobile. It works on any platform, any browser, and it's really meant to be used online as opposed to printing out, but you can take whatever path you choose. Additionally, you can share these reports. I mentioned this already. This is where that lead gen piece comes in. The reports are set to private by default. When I turn it on, I get a unique link that I can just copy like that by clicking, or I've got a unique QR code that I can download, include with marketing materials, printouts, listing signs, things like that. And when this toggle is turned on, require email to view, that's that lead gen piece. So now when I share this link, now when I share this QR code, anybody who comes to my report will be asked for their information. I get all of those insights in real time. I see who's looking at the report, how often, and what questions they're asking the AI. And I'll show you where you can actually see that as well in the dashboard of the report. And the same thing is printing. You can customize what pieces of the report are shared when you use that QR code or that link. You just go in here, you check whatever pieces of it that you want on or off. It's as simple as that. And it's worth mentioning that when you check those pieces on and off, you as the owner of the report will still be able to see all of the information. It's just folks on the other side, when you're sharing it, it just won't even be there. The sections will not be there at all. All right, so now the AI, the exciting part. 2 pieces to look at. Right here on the right-hand side, this is Aiden. This is the co-pilot that I was talking about. So you'll see the purple button here. Similar to the map, it updates as I go through the report with different suggestions of things that I can ask. So when I'm on the zoning section, it'll update about, asking about zoning. When I'm on permits, it'll ask about permits. This is just a way for you to ask a question with the click of a button and sort of see how Aiden works. So it's looking at the tens of thousands of data points in the report, and it's asking, by clicking that button, I just asked, how's this property zoned? And, you all saw in 1 second, I was able to get, a concise answer to that. Now, I can ask more sophisticated questions as well. So I can type in, what is the rental potential? Again, Aiden is looking at the tens of thousands, dozens of different data sources, tens of thousands of data points, collating all of that information in a couple of seconds and giving me an answer. So it's looking at, you can see in the result here, I've got a section for long-term rental and short-term rental potential. So it actually sized up both of those without me even having to ask. It's giving me my estimated monthly rent for both, my ROI, expected ranges for that, cap rates, all of that sort of salient information included in a couple of seconds. So that really beats me going down here to the long-term rental potential and short-term rental potential section, going through these charts and graphs, looking through the comps, doing the data analysis on my own, clicking through all of this. I just have to ask a question, I get the answer. That said, I can always go down here and look at this data, and see it for myself if I want to spot check Aiden. But it's worth mentioning for any of you who are familiar with AI tools, our AI does not hallucinate. If products like ChatGPT will sometimes make up answers if they don't have the answer to that question. We've trained Aiden explicitly on the data that we bring in for each report. You can really think of Aiden as the mouthpiece of the brain of the data that we've put together. So it's really just feeding back to you in a conversational way the information that we've collated by doing the hard work of bringing all of these different data providers into one place. So really, really cool. Great for you as an agent on the road. You don't have to have those conversations with the client, say like, oh, let me get back to you on that. You can just sit there, ask the question, get the answer you need in seconds. And again, for people who are at your open house or when you're using RealReports as a lead gen tool, it's a really cool way for them to engage with the information in the property. And then you get all of those insights of what they're looking at and maybe what they're interested in. So it gives you a great stepping stone to follow up with them as well. And the last piece here in the report itself is the property document. So I mentioned this before. Aiden has the ability to ingest large, lengthy property documents and give you a summary in real time. So there's an appraisal uploaded here. You can see it gave me, pretty high level information across that appraisal. That information gets added into Aiden as well. So the more documents you add, the more powerful, current, and sophisticated the overall Aiden brain for this property becomes. And I'm actually going to show you in real time here what it actually looks like to add a document. So it's super easy. You just click to add. I'm going to search for one real quick here. Let's see if I've got an inspection report that we can try out. All right. So I've got an inspection report. I'm going to upload that. It's going to take me, 5 or 6 seconds here for that document to upload. I click next. Now I get a prompt here to add that document to Aiden. So I can always turn this on and off. If there's sensitive information in the document that you don't want shared to Aiden, because you're going to share this more publicly, you can just check that off. Alternatively, if you want to add that information to Aiden, you just check it on. So very, very simple. I click done. And now when I go into here, it's already done it. It looks like it literally just finished, but I've got a complete overview of this inspection report summary top to bottom. So again, I've been in the space long enough to know the real power of this. We're not just tooting our own horn here. Like that inspection report is 30 pages long. And now at least I've got all of that high level information. And then I can go over to Aiden and ask surgical questions about, the inspection report itself, if there's more detail that I really want to dig into. So I thought that was super cool. Just wanted to show you that. The last pieces I'll give you a quick look at are the report dashboard. So nothing crazy here, but it's important just to see this is where you sort of house all of your reports. So this is just an internal version, but it would look the same on your side. You can see all the reports that you've pulled, any leads that have come through, how many views they have, and a couple other settings. And then additionally, this part is, this is that lead activity. So I get, full insight on who's coming to my reports. I get their contact information, their phone number. I see what were they doing? Were they looking at the report? Were they chatting to Aiden? So it looks like Robin here was chatting to Aiden about this example property, and she asked, is this in a flood zone? And I can actually see the response by hovering of what Aiden said about that. So again, I, as a enterprising agent here, let's say Robin came to my open house at 123 Main Street and was asking about a flood zone. I'm going to go back to that report, get a couple bits of more information about, the flood insurance premiums, what it's going to look like with risk rating 2.0. Put that together and shoot off an email or a note to Robin saying like, hey, I did a bit more research for you, let's have a chat. That's a huge value add, especially for people who aren't even your clients yet. So really, really cool. All right. Without any further delay, I'm just going to wrap up with a couple slides here, just so you get a bit more information. So bear with me for 5-10 more minutes here, and then I'll take some questions at the end, time permitting. So there are 3 different types of RealReports. We divide them into 3 different tiers. And you can see this is just a non-exhaustive list of the different data providers that we bring in. A whole lot of great folks, first-party providers like First American, third parties, as well as a bunch of government data sources as well. So the 3 tiers are the snapshot, the buyer, and the seller. Their names, are pretty clear in terms of the intent of why you would use one or another. But the snapshot is exactly what it sounds like. It's a quick snapshot of the property. We have agents use this a lot before showings. You got that first-time home buyer who wants to go see 20 homes with you on the weekend, and you're like, oh God, like it's just, there's not enough time in the day. So you pull those snapshot reports, send those over to your client, or do a little bit of the review on your own. That's a great way to get a lot of good, interesting data that may actually just disqualify, some of those properties right off the bat, save you and your client some time up front. They're great for client engagement. So through your CRM, you can send these out to all your hundreds and thousands of different leads or clients that you have, see if they, allow anybody to perk up their ears. Again, you'll get those insights when people go look at the report. So it's a good way to just engage people. And again, just great for initial property research. Now, where things start to get interesting is the buyer and the seller tiers. The buyer tier, again, agents are using this with their buyers, but specifically for buyer presentations and offer preparation, like that deep level of diligence when you're ready to dive into a property. That's where these really come into play. Or when you're starting out with a buyer, want to make those first impressions, want to get that buyer agency agreement signed. This is a great way to build up sort of that initial trust and credibility. These come with everything in the snapshot report in terms of data, plus a ton of other data, as well as that AI Copilot aid-in and that AI document analysis that I showed you. And then the seller tier, again, great for listing presentations, open houses, lead generation, or even deep buyer diligence. Some buyers may want all of the information because the seller report comes with everything in the buyer, everything in the snapshot, plus a ton more data, plus a more advanced version of our AI, as well as the lead gen features. So, maybe a buyer is interested in renting out a property, and the long and short-term rental potential data actually comes in that seller report. So we don't say that you have to use it for buyer or you have to use it to seller. That's just where we see most of the usage, but they can be, used interchangeably as well. And you'll see there are credits associated with these. I'll go over sort of the way that you get RealReports in a second here in the subscription packages. So there are 3 subscription packages that you can, opt into. There's basic, there's plus, and there's pro. So each of these comes with a certain amount of credits per month. When you subscribe to any of these packages, you get unlimited snapshot reports. So again, going back this left here, you will be able to get unlimited of those. You don't have to worry about any credits or anything. You can just pull those all day long. But then, as you can see, the buyer tier is 1 credit and the seller is 3 credits. So you can do the math. The basic, you get 1 credit a month, plus you get 5, pro you get 10. So it really depends on your volume, how much business you're doing, how many clients you're working with, where you sort of want to fit in here. But it is worth noting that in order to get access to that AI document analysis, you need to be in the plus or the pro subscriptions. The benefit of that is you not only get the AI document analysis, you get credit carryover, but you actually get 3 or 10 respectively client accounts. So what are client accounts? That means that you can actually invite the clients that you're working with to your RealReports account. They're going to get free basic or free snapshot reports every month. So they can just pull those on their own. It's a really cool way to just sort of engage clients outside of just sending reports yourself. So that's sort of the quick layout of each. Now, it is worth mentioning, we're incredibly excited to be working with Prime. And so you all have a number of member benefits. What I just showed you was all of the retail pricing. So that looks a lot different for you all. Now, right out of the gate, instead of requiring you to get a subscription to get those unlimited snapshot reports, you just get them for free. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to pay a cent. Today, you can go to RealReports and get unlimited snapshot reports for free. Just start pulling those. Again, they lack a lot of the cool AI features, a lot of the more robust data and lead capture features. But if you just want to sort of get your hands wet or your feet wet, rather, with the report itself and the product, you can just start diving in right now. Additionally, you get 40% off of that subscription pricing. So the way that pans out is the basic, which I showed you, is usually $9. So you get that for $5 a month. The plus subscription, you get, instead of $29, it's $19 a month. And pro, instead of $49, that's $29 a month. So I can say with a high assurance, this is one of the best deals that you will get, period. But, we're really, really excited to be working with Prime. So we wanted to make it worth everybody's while. And we're really excited just to see, get a lot of people using this right off the bat. Additionally, let's say, you want to start with basic, you're not ready to go up to plus or pro. Doesn't really matter, but no matter what, if you run out of report credits in any given month, you can just buy a la carte credits as well. And will give you the same discount off of that. So you can always, You can switch between subscriptions. It's on a monthly or annual basis. You can always upgrade or downgrade within those terms. And then you get 40% off of the subscription pricing and a la carte credits. You'll get, I mentioned this while I was going through the report, but you'll get your company branding, your logo, your colors. The reports will feel much more like a native experience to your brand rather than, sort of our purple scheme. And we do also have, in addition to these perks, custom brokerage packages available as well. So if you're the leader of a team or, running a brokerage and want to talk to us further, just let us know. Now, just to sort of wrap things up here, in terms of expectations from us, we pride ourselves on our customer service. With us, you will experience very fast and responsive support. We are always building new features based on feedback. We love feedback. We've got thick skin. Critiques do not bother us. We love it. It just helps us make the product better. So the best thing any of you could do for me is test out the product. Let us know what's good. Let us know what's not good. We are always building new things to make things better. We're going to be doing tons of these webinars and trainings, not just this sort of big overview that I'm doing, but more deep dives into different parts of the product, different features, different ways to use the AI. So keep a lookout for more of those on a monthly basis coming from us. We've got a great education hub. This has got everything from FAQs to video walkthroughs, marketing assets, use cases. It's a really, really robust resource that anybody can access at any point in order to ensure that they have a very full understanding, robust understanding of how to use the product. And then we also have multiple integrations with tech that you already use. So Paragon, we're already live with. I'll show you how we've implemented that here in the next 2 slides. And Relevate, we will be launching integration with them later this month. So keep a lookout for that as well. And high level, we built a great platform, but we want to integrate our product into your workflow and your behavior, the way that you already use your tools, so that you don't have to sort of think of us out of the blue. We want to be part of your process. So there'll be more and more integrations as we move forward in the next couple of months. So when it comes to Paragon, two places that we're already integrated with. First, just on a listing detail page. So if you search any address, click the little plug action icon or the icon under a property photo, you'll see the 2 little R's. Right here on the right-hand side, you'll see AI-powered Real Report. If you click that, that'll send you straight to our site. It'll log you in. You don't have to do anything, and you'll be on the sort of checkout for what report tier that you want to pull for that property. So again, if you just want the snapshot for free, no subscription, you can go do that right now for any property. Otherwise, you can opt into a subscription to get those higher tiers of the report. And then secondly, in the spreadsheet view, just look for that plug icon. Again, you click that, we'll be in the integrated tools subset there. So just again, look for AI-powered Real Report, click that, same thing, we'll pass you right through to our side. So last bits here, getting started. Excited for all of you, if you haven't already, to join the over 300 PrimeMLS members already using Real Reports. We only launched about a week ago, and we've already got 300 people on the platform. That's amazing. I'm incredibly excited about that. That is not usually the case, just because things can be slow, but Prime seems very, very engaged. So we're really, really proud of that already. As I mentioned, you can access Real Reports directly through Paragon, through those 2 points that I showed you. Additionally, if you scan this code, this is going to bring you to a custom website that we have with Prime. So don't just go to our normal website. Make sure you copy this QR code here, or you go through Paragon. I believe that Sarah Fogg also sent out messaging, which has this link as well. And for everybody who may have missed this at the beginning, I'm sending out these slides, so don't worry if you don't catch the QR code right now. You'll be able to go do this, after the fact as well. The ways to know that you're on the right site are these 3 screenshots below. It's all part of the same page, but when you hit the homepage itself, there'll be a banner at the top. It says, "Welcome to Real Reports. Because of your affiliation with Prime, you have access to special benefits." If that banner's not there, you're not in the right place. Additionally, when you go to create an account, you'll see our logo next to Prime's logo. That's another signal that you're in the right place. And then the pricing, we've already taken off the cost. So you'll see that for those subscriptions, the $5, $19, and $29 a month, that's the pricing you should see on the website. So that's really it. I really, really can't thank you all enough.